Prague is beautiful, right? But is there anything to do or see there besides old buildings and dramatic statues that look like they're watching you?
Well, let's find out. One of our first stops was to make our way to Prague Castle, all the way up the hill in the Newtown section of Prague, which funnily enough looks really old. But when Prague was growing in medieval times, they started building on the other side of the Vltava River from where the main square is and grew to the hillside where we are exploring. So even though it's old, it's considered new.
Prague Castle is super beautiful, and St. Vitus Cathedral will check off all of your European Gothic church needs. It's actually very similar to the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris.
This place was built in 1344, but not fully completed until 1929, which is wild. Just a casual 585 years later. There apparently is some rivalry between which is better, St. Vitus, Notre Dame, and the Cologne Cathedral. You can discuss and decide amongst yourselves.
Our wonderful tour guide Booma took us through the castle grounds where you can see the president's office and also some beautiful town scenery from inside their gigantic gates. And they even have a radio tower that looks like the Eiffel Tower. The showstopper dramatic views from the top of the hill are totally worth the climb up and walk back down. It'll take your breath away, literally.
Do you remember the ride up to Prague Castle, though? We wound up taking a streetcar, but we missed the modern one that was just right there. And we wound up taking the older model one with no air conditioning, and people weren't putting down the windows. It was so hot.
And I will say, Booma did tell us that even though the newer ones have air conditioning, the way that it is because you can't put the windows down on them. It actually makes it miserable as opposed to the older one. I don't know if I believe that or not, but because it was very hot.
Maybe she told us that so we wouldn't feel bad about missing the new car, but we were making everybody put as many of the windows that would go down
Yes.
because it was just so hot. And we were going up these hills and around the corner, and it was just kind of going around and up and up and up and around.
It was a lot.
But it was beautiful. We had a few really good scenery moments in there.
Yeah.
Then when you get off, lots of walking. We did so much walking.
But there was a cafe, and we were able to stop for a little potty break, and they had a delicious dessert that JR got. And
it was good. I didn't share it. This castle thing place is huge. The grounds are huge. But the St. Vitus Cathedral, right there. There's all these government offices around. There were these huge gates with huge statues, and one of the statues is like stabbing somebody. I don't know. It's all very beautiful, and there's statues everywhere, but it's a little severe.
yes.
Like if you really look at everything, like the statues are not just like happy cherubic people or anything. There's a lot of like.
Yeah, I don't know what time period that's considered. Like it's not medieval. It's but you can tell in the architecture and like you're saying, the statues, like the things they're doing, the faces they're making, like you can tell that it's from a Gothic era that is much different from today.
Well, yeah, and the church is Gothic from medieval times, but then they didn't finish it until later in the 20th century. But then a lot of the statues and stuff are medieval. Some are Art Deco. It's a big mix.
And they do have a changing of the guard, which they have these two cute little guard stations outside, and JR took a picture with one of them.
And she told us that they didn't used to even have that.
Right.
That it's all for tourists. It was fun, and you took my picture there, but she said that it's all for tourists, and they didn't have that up till a few years ago, I think.
Right.
Whenever they started doing the changing of the guards, even though they don't really, it's not a real thing.
And theirs are a little bit different from the changing of the guard in England because their guards in Prague are able to laugh and smile and stuff, as opposed to England, they're not supposed to move a muscle in their face.
Yeah, they're more serious. And then in addition to the statues and the scenery and the cathedral, you wind up going through this little staircase, and there's just this breathtaking view of the cliff.
Oh, yeah.
There's a huge plaza, and there was a cliff area, and then you can see the whole town. It's super beautiful.
Oh, it really is.
And there's a little cafe thing off to the side, which we all went to, and remember, let us take a break, thankfully. And so we got some drinks and some bratwursts, I think.
Yeah. They weren't that great.
The drinks were good.
Yeah. The drinks were good. I love bratwurst. He's not much of a fan of sausage type things, but I love it. And so I expected it to be amazing here. And it just was okay. I mean, I wouldn't say it was bad, but I wouldn't say it was good either.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. But it was nice to take a little break. We could really look at the view because the cafe is like right there as well on the cliff. And you can see over on the hill.
Yeah.
For the whole city. It was really nice.
It was beautiful.
And then we had to walk down. We did not get to take the streetcar down, so there was a lot of stairs and walking, but at least it was downhill.
It was downhill, so that was okay.
Other things to do are to go see the Jewish Quarter, which is conveniently located by some fancy shopping. And of course, the main Old Town Square, also called Staromak, or a long Czech name I am not about to try and pronounce. Sorry, Prague.
The Prague Astronomical Clock, or the Orlo, was fun to watch for about a minute. The crowds gather in front of this thing to watch every hour when the clock strikes, all day long. The actual show is a bit of a letdown, though. I bet it was impressive as hell to the people in the 1400s when it was built. After 600 years, it still shows the time, calendar, phases of the moon, and zodiac signs.
It's like a giant smartphone made out of bricks, but with no games or internet. Bummer.
Something like that.
Yeah, that clock was cool and it's beautiful and it's old. But everybody stands around this thing and makes a huge crowd. And I mean, it was worth doing once, I guess. I just don't see the appeal.
No,
I was expecting so much more.
There were hundreds of people every time we went up to this clock. And I mean, we're talking like 20 minutes before it goes. There's people just standing there waiting. And so I was like, okay, this is a really cool thing. When we were on the guided tour with Buma, she said it's her least favorite thing about Prague, that everybody always talks about the clock and they want to see it, but she finds it to be lackluster. And so I thought maybe, it's one of those things, you've just seen it so much, it's not cool anymore. No, it wasn't that. It just wasn't cool.
It was cool. No,
it's cool that it's still running.
Yeah.
But it wasn't cool. It just kind of did nothing besides the four little dudes.
Yeah, there's like a door and what you think is like maybe a little like track to the front. Yeah, so I was thinking, it's going to be like a little show where the little robot automatons come out and maybe hit the bell or whatever. But they didn't do that. I guess that's just for maintenance. So it was less impressive because I was like standing there for a while because we stood there early to get good spots and expected this whole show, and it was just kind of like, the little robots they did like the little movement, and the rooster only crowed like once at the very beginning, and so if you missed it, you missed it, and then that was it, and it was over after like, I don't know, 30 seconds or whatever to a minute, and then it's just, now you gotta wait for another hour for it to go again.
It's one of those things. It's cool to see once.
It's their little
thing.
And
then I would never stand there again because it's a waste of time.
Yeah. Do it once. If you've never done it, do it once. If you've done it, you probably already know not to bother to do it again. But if you miss it, don't worry.
Right.
It's definitely a FOMO moment. Everybody's doing it, so you feel like you have to do it or you're missing out. But so if you miss it, definitely a busy place. We went in early fall, so it's not probably as busy as summertime might be, but still super packed full of people everywhere we went. The bridge especially, Charles Bridge was packed.
There were times when we couldn't even walk like side by side. Most of the time we couldn't walk because it was so busy, but especially on the bridge, there were so many people, it was oppressive.
The bridge is the worst. The little square before the bridge is pretty bad. The main square of Old Town is very busy, but not as bad.
Yeah.
But the rest of the areas of town really aren't. Like, it's not packed everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Newtown shopping street, that was very busy.
Very.
Wait, the Newtown is the one with the castle on it? Or that's Old Town?
That's Newtown, even though it looks just as old as Old Town.
So Newtown, yes. I was surprised how many people were packed in the street, on the main street. It was like walking down, I wanted to stop, but I really didn't want to because getting back out into that amount of people is a lot.
But it was really just the main thoroughfares. Every time we split off from that, we were on that bridge that is across from the Charles Bridge on our way back one time during the tour, and there was nobody on that bridge.
Which is a secret. If you want to cross the bridge without the people, take that other bridge because
there's almost nobody on it, and it's very easy to walk across. You're not dodging people left and right.
And it still goes up to Prague Castle and everything. So yeah, that was much nicer. There's not that packed crowd on there. But there's lots of spots in town that just aren't packed. It's really the main couple of squares and shopping streets.
Yeah.
Everything else is doable. So don't be too upset about it or worried about it. And I'm sure it's not nearly as busy come winter time and early spring.
Now, my favorite part, the food. You won't be short on restaurants to choose from in Prague. Lots of options from fancy to local to quick and easy baguette sandwiches to go. And lots of sweet treats like the Trdelník, Trdelník, I don't know, or chimney cones. It's like an orgy in my mouth.
Yeah, we had some good eats for sure, and when we weren't eating, we were shopping, of course. Because what else does one do as a tourist anywhere but eat and shop and look at old stuff?
We had our work cut out for us to find the perfect nesting doll for DJ, and just the right fridge magnet to commemorate our travels, as we always do. Plenty to do in this town, but it isn't just a postcard city. Locals actually live here outside the tourist areas. We could have joined a fun run with the local residents if we were the type of people who run for any reason other than being chased.
Yeah, our speed is more like 10 miles an hour on a boat with a bar. So that's where we wound up.
On our way to the dinner cruise, we ran into a, I guess,
Fun run
through the city. And so we're already probably like 5 minutes late, but I was like, oh, no big deal. We'll just walk really fast. It won't be a big deal. Not true. So not only do they have the fun run, but they shut the street down. So there's not like, we're from the US. So in the US, when you come across something like that, there's always like a place where you can cross over safely or whatever, or divert. This went straight through the whole city. So you literally had to like run for a second with the runners to cross slowly. It was like playing Frogger. It was,
but we're all dressed up for the dinner cruise in our evening wear. And we're like
heavy winter jackets.
Yeah, we're like
it's cold.
Running down the street and trying to cross and not hit people, and that was fun. And it happened twice. It was closed in 2 spots that we needed to cross. I was like, wait a minute, how is it going down one road and now down the other opposite direction road, and we're stuck on both of them? We still make cruises.
It truly was a Frogger moment.
We have sort of a personal vendetta of sorts against dinner cruises, but this city had some great views to make it worthy of the tickets. Gorgeous nighttime views of bridges, churches, historic buildings, what looked like a pyramid. And we even got to go up and down in a lock system, which was a first for us. We liked it a lot. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Yuck. There were some nightclubs and club boats, even for the younger crowd, but our little jazz boat was just right for aging millennials such as us. So glad we went.
Yeah, we came across that pyramid thing, and we still don't know what it is. I guess I could look it up, but we didn't go over there to see it. We just saw it from the boat. It was beautiful at night. It's all lit up,
interesting, too,
and it's on top of this like mountain hill thing, and subway like comes through it. The streetcar comes through it. It's beautiful, but I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is? You should find out and tell us what it is.
Yeah.
This city may not have cutting-edge modern entertainment like a Dubai or a Singapore, but it has plenty to keep your stomach and camera storage full for a few days at least. And we can't wait to go back and see all that we missed another time, with fewer stairs and hills. So join us on our next adventure, and as always, like, comment,
and subscribe.
And we'll see you next time.
Totes!